Howdy folks, my name's Adam, and today we're going to be walking around this 2020 Jeep Wrangler Sahara with the turbocharged inline 4 2-liter motor under the hood. I just got back from my round trip to Las Vegas, and I'm back in my hometown in Texas, and I'm here editing this video, and notice I forgot to shoot an intro because I was so excited to make a video on this Jeep. If you're new to the channel, I'd gladly appreciate y'all to check out some of my other videos. I do all different types of car-related content. Hope y'all enjoy the review. Thanks. Alright, so to start off this review, with this Jeep Wrangler, we're going to be doing the exterior, so let's walk to the front end, shall we? You've got the iconic 7-slotted grille with brushed aluminum accents. This Sahara Jeep was not equipped with the $1,300 add-on, which is something I would certainly add. It gives you your LED daytime running lights and LED bulbs instead of the yellow. This Jeep is equipped with the fog lights down there. So Jeep kind of offers a wide variety of colors. I hope I'm saying this right. This Jeep is the billet silver metallic paint job. It's just a silver. Looks pretty good. I like it a lot. There is so much nature around here. Rabbits, birds flying everywhere. See, look, there goes more. This is their silver, and I like the name of their kind of darker gray, I guess you could say. It's Stingray. All right, so moving over to the hood. If y'all didn't already know this, these two little plastic spots, because this is the hardtop Jeep to where you can take everything off, your doors, you know, that's a go-to thing. You can take off the back hatch, you can take off all the roof stuff, and I'll do a little demo of that later for y'all. But something I looked up on the interwebs this morning, those two little plastic pieces, we thought this Jeep could do it, but we didn't know where the windshield would go. It's to hold your windshield in place if you decide to take it off when you're going on your off-road adventure. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a couple numbers at you real quick. The way this Jeep is spec'd out, it's a 4-door, four-wheel drive. It's got the 2-liter inline 4 turbocharged motor under the hood. It's got the ZF 8-speed. We'll get into all that mechanical stuff a little later in the video. The curb weight on this is 4,263 pounds, and it's about 5,500 when it is at its max gross weight. The wheelbase on this unit is 118 inches, and your ground clearance the ground clearance is pretty impressive on the stock Jeep, 10 inches. Moving over to the side of the Jeep, we'll get to the wheels in a second. I never was a huge Wrangler fan, but after renting this Jeep for about a week, and we have it for one more day, I'm really liking this Jeep. You know, it's got its iconic, you know, you just got your antenna. It's the unlimited. I actually like being able to see how you can take off your doors with just those star bits. It's pretty nice. And I mean, you know, there's lots of plastics, but I do like how this fender back here sticks out. It's not all flatted. Throw a couple Easter eggs at you real quick. These, well, not these, but there's an other taillight. The taillights are supposed to look like gas tanks. And this is an Easter egg for sure that's on this Jeep. And it's on all 5 wheels. I'll show you it on the spare. The old World War II Willys Jeep, because you know, Jeeps have been around since then. And they keep trying to throw little things that remind you of the original Jeep, but while still improving it. All right, so moving over to the wheels. Get this boy to angle up in the front. We'll talk about the tire setup in a second. There's 3 different sets of tires on here. Let me just tell you that. It's kind of funny. You're looking at 18-inch wheels. It's kind of a brushed aluminum with a gray metallic in the middle. There's that World War II Willys Jeep I was telling you about. And I'm pretty sure these are the original tires that came with it. These dualers, they should be, 255s, okay, R18s. So these 2 tires are on the front. As you can see, they've got a little bit of life left, but not much. In the back, we've got some all-terrains, a little bit more beefy tires, because, you know, they had to replace them. Iron Man. Oh, okay, they're 255s too. That's good. There are 18s. And then we've got the full-size spare on the back. This is not a street tire no more. It is a drag slick, because look at this crap. So there's your 3 sets of tires on this Jeep. All right, so we'll go ahead and just open up the back for you. So this door swings out, and then the glass just goes up. It's pretty nifty. There's a good amount of space back here to store some stuff. Got a smart water. You can of course put the second row down and have way more room. You've kind of got a plastic roll cage going on around the whole Jeep. And this thing's pretty cool actually. So when you want to take the tops off, because they come off in pieces, you store it in this thing and you can set it up right back here and take it along with you, and don't have to worry about setting it somewhere else and not having it with you. So go ahead and close this back up. I made the mistake the first few days we had it. I kept trying to close the door, then the glass, but it's the glass first and then the door behind it. Let's move into the interior. All right, so moving on to the interior, we'll go on the passenger door first. Opening the door, you're greeted with, it's mostly hard plastic, leather stitched armrest. This is kind of like a brushed aluminum buckle kind of handle. Then getting in the Jeep, as you can see, it's a typical Jeep. It's very dusty on the inside because we've had the tops down and have not been babying this thing. So it's kind of a soft plastic with leather stitching across the top of the dash. Then you've got the silver that kind of goes all the way through. And then we'll get to the infotainment system and all the controls in the middle in a second. Gotta make some space real quick. Put this Red Bull can back up here. Get out of here. Smart water. Just throw it in the back. We're good. All right, I did forget to mention there's the oh shit handle right here. And then in the Jeep, there's handles in many other spots. Tops down, you can just grab onto this little roll cage. That's always fun. So moving on to the infotainment system. What you're looking at here, let me get out the paper real quick so I tell you this right. This is the standard 7-inch Uconnect 4 system. And this is the only other thing I would opt for on this Jeep that it doesn't have. Remember I said I'd want the LED lights. And again, you can do what you want. The good thing is that this is the lower end infotainment system, but it still has CarPlay in it, which is nice. One cool thing I was looking, when you get the 8.4-inch screen, they include a 5-year subscription, Jeep does, to Sirius XM, so that's kind of nice. And this has the standard 6 speakers, so you know how a Jeep is. You've got the 2 speakers up here, got the speakers in dash, and then you've got the 2 back there. That's just standard speakers. You can opt for the 12-speaker Alpine sound system, which, you can do the speaker setup on your own. Unless you're lazy and don't want to mess with it, then go ahead and do it. Like I said, the doors are pretty easy to take off. And if you want to do some custom mirrors or something because you don't like the basic ones, I mean, they're all right, but I'd probably do something different. Look, here's the 3 bolts right there to take them off. Easy. One thing I will say about the redesign of this Jeep compared to all other Jeeps in the past, it is way more like livable to have as a daily.
I never really understood the Jeep interior. It's like the most tasteless design ever. Like, I don't know, like it doesn't really look rugged. It just looks childish. The buttons are huge. It doesn't even look appealing. The interior is just disgusting too.
But now they're starting to integrate some stuff, and you're getting different motors besides the 3.6 Pentastar, which is a good motor, under the hood. And again, I'll get to that in a second. Moving on to the middle now. You know, you've got your volume. It actually has some knobs and buttons. Your volume, your climate control, fan speed, the tuner, then your front and rear defrosters right here. Then you can go through the modes. of switching your vents right there. Recirculation, turn on your compressor. This Jeep does have hill descent control. Me and my dad were trying to figure that out on the trails we were doing the past couple of days, and we remembered you got to put it in 4 low, and then hill descent is active. And it's pretty cool. It's like cruise control for going slow. And it's actually pretty handy when you're doing some crazy stuff, because the computer does pretty good at keeping you at the speed you have it set. Then you got your, this is something I'm liking. I'm not a huge fan of the auto start stop. I understand if you're sitting for a long time, but I'm telling you, there's some cars where I hear the auto start stop and it sounds like the starter and the engine's gonna die when they like stop and it kills for a second and it starts back up, and happens multiple times in traffic. It's horrible. Enough from that. At least now they're starting to integrate buttons, so you can just, but you do have to press it. Remember to press it every time you get in the car if you don't want it. You got your traction control, hazards. Then moving down here, you know, since the doors come off and to have less electrical stuff, the only electric thing is the door locks on here. Here's all your power switches for the windows. And I'm liking this a lot. You still have your standard traditional 12 volts. Then over the media, you got your aux, USB-C, and USB. And another package you can add on, and I mean, I don't know if I'd do this one. What takes place at this spot, I don't know where it goes, probably goes down here somewhere, is you can have your 4 auxiliary channels to hook up lights and odds and ends, whatever you want. Like I said, this unit is equipped with the Apple CarPlay. I will show you all that in a little bit, and Android Auto. All right, moving on to the back where you're going to keep all your children or all your other passengers that ride in here. Don't mind this garbage, throw that back there. I don't know what that is, sure, throw that back there. GoPro stuff, keep that. Oh, tire thing. Okay, so I moved this seat up because, you know, I'm 6'3" and my dad's 6'5". We are tall people. I moved this up to where like a normal person will be sitting, which, and still have a lot of room, which is not even that much more than I had it all the way back. And the legroom is actually decent. I mean, my legs are actually barely touching. And I know people are complaining about the new Jeep's cloth seats and leather because they put the cloth, well, I'm not sure about the leather, but I know the cloth is all the way. But I'd rather have this cloth right here instead of plastic, because it's one less thing that'll scratch. And it's actually soft touch to where you can jam your knee into the person's back in front of you. Then one nice thing is that both seats have spots to store stuff in the back of the seats. There's your buckle handle again, close that up. One thing I did forget mentioning, in all 4 seats, you have this, I mean, most vehicles, that would kind of suck, but you know it's a Jeep, so it's actually cool in a Jeep. Ooh, it's a little dark. Let me open that door back up. You've got this thing to store whatever you want in there. It's kind of nice. Then moving over to the center, these cloth seats are very comfy, by the way. You've got your 2 cup holders. You've got, I'm sure the lower end doesn't have it, but the Sahara's, you're getting up there, fellas. You've got your actual vents in the back for the passengers in the second row. Here's your controls for the windows back here. Then you've got your house power spot back here. Plug in a laptop or whatever. And I love this. You have 2 USBs and USB-Cs. So even the passengers are pimping back here, guys. Then, like I said, you got your 2 speakers up yonder. Go ahead and throw a couple 12s back there and you'll be booming. It actually does some decent lighting at night. These are LEDs. I do wish they would have integrated, like for the front, 2 lights over where the mirror was instead of just all right here, but it's whatever. And then you got 1 light back here. And I'll do a demo in a sec of showing y'all. I'm not going to take all this off, but as you can see, it's pieces to where it all comes off pretty easily. And I'll just do a demo of the front because that's pretty easy. Okay, so we're gonna do a little demo of taking off both the tops in the front. Very easy and self-explanatory. So bring the visor down. You have to do the driver's side first, taking it off. So this latch, slide this guy, slide that guy, slide this guy also. Then the top should just, yep, come off. And that thing that I showed y'all in the back earlier, you can put it in that storage container and carry it along with you. Passenger side's the same way. Visor down, this latch. And there you go. And you can ride along with your top down. Same goes for the back. Funny, I'm probably going to be putting this video out first. I'm doing a review on this Jeep, and I have some good video footage it's going to take me a while to edit of us doing some off-road trails with it. And one thing includes, I mean, you don't see in the video, but last night we went on a stroll through Las Vegas. It was like 30 degrees out, and we had the top down with the heater on full, taking in the scenery. Closing up the top is pretty self-explanatory. I did not want y'all to see me struggling to get it, but it's not bad, don't worry. So taking it off, driver's side first, putting it back in, driver's side first. Passenger always comes second. And it was the same thing. You just had to line this little guy up, and there's one right there too, and it just fits in. Then you do your 3 latches, and then this metal one that really holds it on. Same thing for the passenger side. Took the Jeep out on another trail. It's pretty freaking dusty, even more than it was. Like I said, we're not babying this thing, we're using it. Open the hood's pretty self-explanatory. There's no latch on the inside. It's just these 2 traditional things that hold the hood in place. And of course your little spring tube that you just gotta click this. I'll bring y'all's peepers in closer. Okay, so the 2020 Jeep Wrangler has multiple different engine options. There is the standard, what you're looking at here, 2-liter inline-4, turbocharged inline-4, sorry. Then there's the 3.6 Pentastar, and they introduced this year also the 3-liter EcoDiesel, and I believe if you get a Rubicon, you can get the 392 6.4-liter Hemi. So they're giving you some options now. But like I said, you're looking at the turbocharged 2-liter inline-4, produces 270 horsepower and 295 foot-pounds of torque. EPA rates, the way this one's spec'd out, 21 city, 22 highway. This is hooked up to the ZF 8-speed. Pretty much Chrysler for the past, I don't know, 5 years now has used the ZF transmission throughout all their lines of vehicles. It's been an 8-speed. Maybe one of these days they'll upgrade to a 10. I don't know. They buy their transmission, they don't build it. This is the 850 RE. This is, when you get a Wrangler, this is the automatic transmission you get. There's not a different one. The towing specs on this unit is 3,500 pounds, so you can still tow a little bit. It's got a 2-speed transfer case, and this Jeep is equipped with the 345 highway rear end. You can also get the 373. Okay, so we got busy. I did some trails earlier. Let me get inside the Jeep real quick. Finally finished the last few things I forgot to do on the review. Right now, give y'all a little cockpit view. Let me turn these lights off just to not blind them inside. Start the Jeep up real quick. Okay. So, get us a light going. Yep. I'm just gonna have to have my flashlight on. That light's not bright enough. Okay, so you got your auto light. Normally always keep that on auto. One thing I forgot to mention earlier, out of all the doors, you know, since this Jeep does have power windows, so you have one little extra electrical thing here. This controls your lights, dimmer, you know, the usual stuff. Then you actually have a shifter for your four-wheel drive, not an electronic button. Then you have most Chrysler products is a knob. This is actually something you can shift to, a handle. It's pretty nifty. Then moving over to the center, blind y'all with that flashlight. Okay, I'll move it back. You know, you got your miles per hour, then all your vehicle information stuff. Did drive it a bunch earlier. Then your off-road stuff. It's pretty cool. Driving on the highway going 70, we were getting 23 miles to a gallon. Trip info, start stop stuff, media, any vehicle messages, screen setup, and then back to miles per hour. And something cool is that instead of just knowing where if you're in 2 high, 4 high, neutral, 4 low, displays it on the screen over next to the tachometer. And moving over to infotainment, ooh, don't want to get copyrighted there. It's 43 out. And I like how you've got all the buttons to do everything down here, even the climate control, everything, but you can still access it on the screen if you want. And like I said, this is just the standard Uconnect 4 7-inch screen. So you do have AM, FM, of course, and Sirius, but no HD radio, none of that. Thankfully, you at least have the Apple CarPlay, and you know, you just plug in your phone. And Android Auto also. I'm sorry, I know there's a lot of people that use Android Auto, but we don't use it. And you know, you just plug it in and then pops up instead of the phone icon right there. It'll say CarPlay or Android Auto, however it says it. And so yeah, that's pretty much the cockpit view of the Jeep. I don't think I'm missing anything. All right, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. I'm sorry I'm not going to have any driving impressions on this review. It's just a walk around. But don't worry, stay tuned. There's going to be another video coming out. I'm going to have to go through all the GoPro footage and some of the stuff I took on my iPhone of all the trails and places we drove to the week we were out in Las Vegas with this Jeep. And I'll put a video together of all the places we went, and that'll include some driving stuff. So stay tuned, and I hope y'all enjoy your new year, and I will put the video at the end of this one that you're about to see now. Thanks for watching. Have a nice night.